guys, and welcome back to another episode of Earthen's Den. And I hope y'all can't hear my air conditioner, honey. I know it's October and I have the air conditioner on because it's so hot in my place. Me personally, I like it to be at a cool 64 consistently. So anyway, let's get into this podcast episode. I want to talk to you guys about this big old phenomenon, self-love. We've all heard it. We know what it's like. Well, not everyone, because some people think that it's just, external stuff, right? And don't get me wrong, I think that, working out and doing those things are really good for you, right? Like me personally, I like to walk, I like to run. I did go to the gym, but anytime I'm in the gym and I'm like, I want to do this because I want to change, I'm not really with it. And I remember when my friend was like, you should really go to the gym, like you should go to the gym. And I was so resistant because I'm like, I look good, I like the way I look. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think that in itself was just like, he was so repulsed by it because there's so many people who just want to change that about themselves. Now, granted, I am 119 pounds, so I'm very healthy. I've always been a very slim girl, but I remember when slim wasn't a thing. And I don't even think slim is like quote unquote a thing now, but personally, I think that thin has always been in. And this isn't a matter of body shaming. This is just me like jokingly and like, sticking up for people who have different body types other than the thick-witted, pound cake. Okay, I'm just saying. So anyway, I remember not liking the way I looked. I remember being in high school and everyone said I was so skinny. I was like a stick. I was like a twig. And you know what's so funny? Those comments were so freaking mean. And when I think about it, it's like people would say them, but it was so common. It was like, oh, haha, like you're so skinny. You look like a twig. Oh my God, I can break your arm off. And it was like, okay, but it's like, if it was the other way, right? If we calling someone fat or if we're calling someone, then it's a problem. So I think that in itself it blows my mind. But anyway, I'm not saying that like both are wrong, but you see what I'm saying. So anyways, I've always liked the way I looked. I think I look pretty good. Me personally, I've never been the type of girl to flash my body, like even though I think I look bomb, and I remember before this moment where I even wanted to go to the gym and this person had even recommended me to go to the gym, I was gaining all this weight. And honestly, I think it's like the moment that you stop doing stuff because you feel like you have to, it just flows better. Like I can honestly say like, everything at this point in my life that I tried to pursue, like everything that I tried to call myself seeking, right? The Bible tells us seek and ye shall find, honey. Every time I've sought it, girl, I could never get a hold of it. Girl, it would always slip through my fingers. So I'm really in a space now that I finally get it, right? Like let it come to you. So when I was like in this space where I wanted to gain weight, I wanted to I was like, okay, I want to gain weight and I wanted to go to the gym, but I wasn't pressing it. Like, it was like one of those things where I'm like, you know what? If I gain weight, I do, but if I don't, I don't, I look good. So I remember getting on the scale, this was in the beginning of the year, and I was at 130 pounds and I was like, yo, I've never weighed this much in my entire life. And so that was like such an interesting kind of like thing, but I ended up losing the weight because I was in a stressful situation. Your girl was under some pressure, honey. God was applying that heat. Or maybe it wasn't God. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But seriously, honestly, there was just some really stressful situations I was going through in my life. And I think that actually was me forcing some things and me trying to pursue some things. Because when you're trying to pursue something, when you're trying to keep something, when you're trying to maintain something in your own strength, you be stressed out. You be stressed, honey. You be stressed. So that's why I understand people when they be bitter, when they be angry, when they be frustrated. I'm not saying, and I said this in my YouTube video today. I'm like, look, just because we understand it doesn't mean we have to tolerate it. And just because we understand it, we can have compassion, doesn't mean we have to put up with anybody treating us like crap. So I want to make that like very clear. But I understand because when you be working, you be stressed. Like you be stressed out. And so I was so stressed. And so I ended up losing a little bit of weight. But I took my focus off of that. And that's how I was able to acquire that. And so I think that I kind of like apply that to life. And so anyways, this episode is not about that. This episode is about self-love. So I think first and foremost, the conversation that really needs to be had and brought to the table is one in which states that it's really hard for women to love themselves, especially in today's society, right? There is just so much noise about women and how they should be and what they should do. I think first and foremost, we have to understand that there are women, like, there's not just women that are different. There are men that are different. There are people that are different. Like, just at the end of the day, like, can we please get that through our heads? Social media has this pseudo effect, I say it all the time, of like this sense of connection. You don't know them, they don't know you, right? And there is really it's not a real thing, right? Because it's like, first and foremost, your algorithm is feeding everything that is a reflection of you to an extent, right? Your Instagram explore page, everything that you like, you desire, that's pretty much what's on your Instagram explore page. So you have to understand that it's an algorithm. Like, it's not the real world. So with that being said, you're going to have girls who like to do X, Y, and Z, and that's fine. You just need to find the ones who like to do X if you like to do X, okay? Like, you know what I mean? I just think that now we're just kind of in a space where people are trying to get people to fit into boxes that they don't want to fit in. Like, no, there's different type of people for everything. And so I think when it comes to being a woman, I'm gonna speak from my own personal experience, because I know who I am. What I've found a lot of times is when I deal with people who kind of like want to take me out of position, you know what I mean? Kind of want to move me off my pedestal, like kind of want to put me in a position to be something that I'm not, to make them more comfortable. And I'm like, I'm sick of this. So I know I'm not the only person experiencing this. Like, for example, if you're a thin girl, you know, you may be dating somebody who feel like, oh, you're so skinny, or oh, you ain't got no X, Y, and Z. Like, straight up, that ain't for you. I just think for me, it's just to a point where it's like, if you love yourself, that's enough. You know what I mean? And if you want a relationship, that's enough. I think another thing too, I'm seeing with a lot of women is women are being called desperate when God put us here to mate and to create. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, yes, you do have to take some things in consideration. I personally, I stress this to every single person. I am not someone who wants to tell people how to think, how to do things, what you need to be doing before X, Y, and Z. That's not my mojo. But my thing is, like, I've always been someone who's like, straight up, you need to have your own life and your own individuality before you get with anybody. I just personally think that it's really hard to know what's for you if you don't know who you are. And that's just, I've been saying that since the first episode, so I'm going to keep saying that. But it's just like, now we're in a space where it's like, when it comes to women and the things that we want, it's kind of like there's just a lot of negative self-talk and a lot of negative connotations around women. And I'm just really sick of it. Honestly, I'm kind of fed up with it. So I think if you're a woman and you like to do what you do what you do, and do it unapologetically. Like, I'm not saying, I don't think that there is a definition to self-love. I think that it's different for every single person because everybody likes different things. And I don't think that anyone should be trying to put themselves in a box in regards to like their self-love journey or what it looks like for them to love themselves. First of all, there's so many different, like, love looks different for everybody. But at the end of the day, if you loving you and you're radiating, it's going to look good on you in whatever sense and fashion or form that you take it in. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it's just to a point now where I just kind of feel like with women, I'm just here to like really encourage sisterhood, and I'm really here to encourage positivity just around women, because I just feel like right now there's just so much noise around that. And this isn't a matter of accountability. Like, yes, I definitely see things that I don't necessarily agree with. You know what I mean? But I think at the end of the day, I also have an understanding as to why these things are going on. Like, I understand childhood trauma. I understand the lack of having a father. I understand that stuff. So even still, for me, it would be very ignorant for me to go against my understanding and speak negatively about it. And I think for me, even if I am going to be in a space where I'm going to correct somebody, it's going to be from inspiration, and I'm going to make sure that I empower you. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, you know, as a woman, be mindful what you listen to. Be mindful of the people around you. I talked to you guys about being around people who are supportive. Be mindful of the content that you're consuming. You know, I personally, I like surrounding myself and like listening to female podcasts that are empowering. I like listening to, because first of all, women, let's just talk about how there would be no life. There would be no you or you and I. There would be none of us without women. So I think that there just needs to be a different level of respect for women that I'm just not seeing today. And I'm just really dissatisfied. I'm not really pleased with that. I don't really like that at all. You know what I mean? I'm not here for it. Like, I'm just not. So everybody's got a different stance. Everybody's purpose is different. But me, I'm definitely for women. I love women. I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual. I'm not any of those things. But I love women, and I'm a woman. So, you know, I get it. And so that's my biggest thing. So I think in today's society, like, love what you have and where you're at, and whatever you want to do, like, know that you can do it. You know, whatever you desire, it's not a fantasy. You're not desperate. Like, you deserve those things. You deserve that car if that's what you really want. You know, I talk to you guys all the time about having your own reality and having your own dreams and making sure that what it is that you want is actually for you, is God sent, is real. You know what I mean? You're not just pursuing some stuff on Instagram because you think or you feel like that's what you feel like you need to be. Like, if it's your real God-given talent and like that's what you're really about, then go for it. You know what I mean? And if you genuinely want to be in a relationship, go for it. Like, you know, I just think when it comes to women, I'm just kind of tired of all this negativity. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we got to stop that, you know? So I'm not here for that. Definitely when I try to correct, like I said, I try to, you know, provide it in a sense that's empowering. And, yeah, there's different type of people for different type of things. So, you know, find your people. You know, that's my biggest thing. Like, find your people. Find people who are with what you're with. You know what I mean? And it's nothing wrong with having different friends for different things. And it's nothing wrong with being around people who don't necessarily like everything that you like. Like, that's nothing wrong with that, right? We like a little variety. But I think at the end of the day, like, the core things got to be in alignment. And honestly, me personally, I prefer people who kind of have the same interests and are on what I'm on, because I think that it makes a relationship a lot more smoother. I know that they say opposites attract. I was listening to this YouTube video. It was this older Italian man. He said that opposites attract, but they don't stay together for long. And that just stuck with me a little bit, because I think, you know, for myself, it's a very complicated relationship when you have two people who are completely different. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if you're with somebody who's an opposite, that's fine. Like, I'm not here to give relationship advice. But what I am saying is, for myself, it's nice when I meet people who kind of are on the same tip as me. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same career path, but mentally they got the same, like, prosperous and abundant mindset, or, you know, they're a dreamer. You know what I mean? That, to me, makes my life a lot easier in regards to our connection. Because sometimes it's really hard to kind of vibe with people who just so far left of the playing field. You know, you're striving for the penthouse and they're striving for nothing. You know, that those type of relationships, those are not equal give and take. Those are not partnerships. And that's just not that's not the season that I'm in. And I don't think I've ever been there, even before it was even definitive for me. But yeah, you guys, love yourself. Like, and honestly, I think that loving yourself really just starts by accepting yourself. Like, stop saying so many negative things about yourself. Just sit in the space and be cool. Like, chill with you. Like, chill out on you. You know what I mean? I think we all want to be better. We all want to aspire for better. We all want to attract different things. But at the end of the day, you are who you are. And I just feel like if you could just sit there, you can grow. But, like, take it easy on you. You know, like, I know that a lot of women, and there's a lot of noise around, like, oh, if you want this or if you want that, get better. Yeah, get better. Like, definitely. Like, I talk to you guys all the time. Like, I work on myself, but I do it from a loving space. I do it from an aspiration space, like an aspirational space. I do it from a space of, like, this is love. Like, I'm doing what it is that I love. I'm doing what it is that I enjoy. So when I'm working on myself, I'm in a completely different frequency. I'm not like, let me do this because I just look like crap. I got to go to the gym and get this booty up in the air. You know, that's not the mojo. You know, it's completely different from this perspective. So it's just like, do it out of love. Like, do it out of love. If you love it, if you loving you feeling good, you like to work out, then do it. You know, if it helps you, like me, I like to go to the gym, listen to some podcasts, kill some time while I'm strengthening some muscles or whatever. Do it, you know. But don't do anything from a place of hate. You know, that's the opposite of love. And God didn't give us that type of spirit. So I think whenever you are working out and you're like, I hate the way I look, I hate the way, like, you're feeding so much negativity into that, you're not going to get the results that you want. When you're like, oh, I hate myself, I want to be with this person because this person got something I don't have, or I like this person or whatever, that's not the type of, you're not going to get the type of results. You know, you be with a person because you want to be with the person. Don't ever get with a person because you need a person. You know, I know we talk about, like, oh yeah, they want us to say, oh yeah, you need a man, right? And I'm not saying that you don't need companionship. I never said that. You know, that's not what I'm saying. But I think to come from a space of neediness with anybody, like, we ain't talking about business relationships and collaborations and people for your team. I'm not talking about that. Yes, we need people. Like, duh, we need people. But when you're in a space where you're like, I don't feel like myself without this person. And I'm not, oh God. See, this right here, there's so many nuances in this. Like, I'm trying to explain this, and there's so many nuances in this, and I want to make sure that I'm communicating it effectively. So just bear with me here. Y'all gonna have to just let this part just play on out. Right? No commercial break. We're gonna just play this one. Let it rip. Let it run. So when you're in a space and you're like, I don't feel like myself without this person. This isn't a matter of like love. Like, oh, I just love this person. This is my person. This is my best friend. Like, we've done X, Y, and Z. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, like, if you feel like this person validates you to a point of like, it's just not, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I feel like at this point I'm kind of hitting a brick wall. Like, I feel like I'm lost for words. But if you feel me, you guys, like, you feel me. You know, I just think that part right there is just important. Like, you want to be with people because you want to be with them. You know what I mean? Like, I want a friend. Okay, here's a perfect example. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. I want friends because, like, I want to be around them. I like what they're about. We have the same interests. Like, it's a real foundation versus I need to be with them because she got a Benz and I'm trying to get a Benz, or I need to get with her because she's doing this and I need this, or I want to be with this person, or I need to be around this person because, you know, I can't do this without them. You know, that right there, you're never going to get the results that you're looking for. Does that make sense? I know that just made perfect sense. Like, that example in itself just like pretty much wrapped up this whole podcast episode. But that's what I mean. Like, you want to be with people because you want to be with them. Like, that right there, it just hits different. I'm telling you, it hits different when you want something and you get that, right? Like, God tells us that desires fulfilled is like a tree of life, you know? But like, hope deferred makes the heart sick. So don't get with people because you need them. Like, you know, you want to come from a place of strength and of independence. Like, you can do it. But it's like, I would love to do it with you. You know, I want to do it with you. You know, like, you're dope. Like, I want to be your friend. Like, you know, not I need to be your friend because when I sit at home, I'm in here chewing on my fingernails, staring at the walls. I'm looking crazy. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? That's not, you don't want to do that. Right? Because then you're going to pick bad. Like, because now you're in a vulnerable position. So if you can stand on your 10 toes and actually do things because you want to do it, there's a different power in that. There's a different level of like energy that you're sending out when you do those type of things versus when you do things because it's like, oh man, I'm like, I need to do this, you know? And like I said, this ain't a matter of like when your back is against the wall, you got to make certain decisions. And you got to kind of like, you know, kind of like you got to rig it a little bit. Like, this is not that, you know, it's completely different. So I hope this podcast makes that ending part made sense. But yeah, man, like, I love talking about this whole phenomenon of self-love. And I just feel like, you know, when it comes to women, when it comes to people, like, be mindful of your words, you know, be mindful of what you say to people because people never forget how you made them feel. You know, and that's real. So be mindful of your words. Be mindful of what you say to people. Be mindful of how you're moving in the world. You know what I mean? And honestly, just be you. Like, don't feel like you have to be somebody that you... Like, don't feel like you have to be... I think this is something I see with women, too. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I think that if you're about that and that's what you like to do, then that's fine. But I know, like, girls like me, I dress a certain type of way. But I feel like some women feel like they got to take off more to be sexy or take off more to show, like, you know what I mean? Like, first and foremost, you don't want everybody hitting up your phone. You don't want everybody hitting up your phone. You don't want everybody in your DMs. Like, it's not a matter of how it looks as a woman. It's just that you just don't even want that. Like, you think you want that, but that's not what you want. First and foremost. And if you are like that, you like to show off whatever, that's you. Like, that's what you like to do. But I want to speak to the women who is not really like that. That's not really what you about, but you feel like you have to be like that. You know, that ain't you. And I think that it shows up and, you know, it just shows up. Everybody can tell when you're not being yourself. So you need to be yourself. So that's just where I'm going to leave that there for people who feel like, you know, when they're on Instagram, they got to take off a little bit to get some likes or whatever. Nah, if that ain't how you rocking and rolling, then just be you. Like, you know, you don't have to put on for nobody. Because first of all, these people don't care about you. So you got to kind of be mindful of that. I mean, I care. I really am a people person. Like, if half of my listeners got to listen to, like, meet me, I'm just a loving person. Like, I'm a little guarded just because I have to be. Like, I can't, you know, come on, people crazy. But, you know, I'm a very loving person. I'm for the people. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. But okay, you guys, I hope that everybody had a great night. And I hope this podcast episode was somewhat insightful. And understand that self-love looks different for everybody, but it really starts out with just accepting you for who you are, having your own really, really beautiful thoughts about yourself, have beautiful conversations with yourself, write love letters to yourself. Like, you know, you're never desperate for desiring things. You're never desperate for wanting something. Go after your goals. Go get it. Okay, go get it. Make it happen for yourself. You're going to be very proud. Stand tall. Be strong. Be independent. And know that it can definitely happen for you. And the moment that you stop beating yourself up is the moment that you really can let love in, and the moment that you can see yourself from a different perspective. Because I think right now, especially, there's just too much noise around like, oh, you need to love yourself. Like, I do love myself, but I also want X, Y, and Z. Straight up, you know, you deserve that. So, okay, guys, I hope everyone had a great day and an amazing, I'm going to say week because I'm going to air this on Friday. And I hope everybody has a good night and have a great weekend. And you are worthy and you are totally deserving. And I'm going to leave you guys with your thoughts.